The Scream Kings are in no way responsible for any encounters with the paranormal, extraterrestrial abductions, eldritch insanity, hauntings, hexes, curses, demonic possessions, cryptozoological sightings, or any loss of sleep from listening to this podcast.
Welcome to the Scream Kings podcast, StokerCon edition.
Face2Face 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Whoa! I'm NJ Gallegos.
And I'm Nathaniel Darkish.
And look at us, Face2Face 2026.
Yes, we are in the same room for a second time for recording a podcast. And I guess we've been in the same room a handful of times now. But...
the same room recording like maybe 3 times now. Because we did it with Scott Siegler last
year. You're right.
Last year. So yeah, it has been a whirlwind weekend. Packed with everything.
Yes. From panels to soup dumplings to more food, let's be real. We try to, dine to the nines? Is that a thing? No, that's not a thing.
Dress to the nines, I think you're thinking.
Yeah. I was trying to twist the metaphor and it did not work.
Dine to the fines?
That's why editing is important.
Not that we're going to edit that out.
No, I'm definitely going to leave it as an example of why editing matters. You're welcome.
You're learning. Not only is this a horror podcast, it is an education podcast.
Learning and growing.
Speaking of learning and growing, this is kind of working backwards, but today we went out to dinner. We got soup dumplings, amazing. Ice cream, amazing. And we were outside Fred Rogers' production.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was a frickin' T-Rex wearing a Mr. Rogers sweater with King Friday and...
Henrietta Pussycat.
The cat. So, we took a picture in front of that.
With really eerie eyes.
Yeah, they kind of followed you wherever you went.
On Henrietta, specifically. The other two were fine.
Yeah. It's definitely haunted.
Yes. And also, I was a little troubled by the T-Rex's Mr. Rogers shoes that they somehow just kind of glommed onto the giant T-Rex foot. But, it's an important part of the outfit. I get it.
How would he take the shoes off, though? His arms are quite small.
That sounds like a thing I want to see. Clearly, we need to invest a lot of, important scientific research into this very specific thing.
Was it on PBS?
Yes.
Did they defund PBS?
Briefly, but then
it's back.
It's allegedly back.
Oh, thank God. All right, because of viewers like me, even though I never donated, but every time it would say that, I'd be like, that is viewers like me.
Yeah, viewers like me, thank me.
5-year-old me.
Yeah, you're just, eating Cheerios in a bowl and just going, aww. I'm appreciated.
Look at me go. But no, all right, now we'll flip back. So, starting StokerCon, me and my wife drove 9-ish hours, so we had some podcasts pulled up. We were unfortunately not listening to the Scream Kings podcast just because, I don't know, the sound of my own voice might make me go insane. But
there is 100 episodes without you.
That's true, but does it really matter except for when I'm in it?
We do divide it into 2 eras, and there's the BNJ and ANJ eras.
Yeah. Epochs.
Truly.
But we listened to Morbid, and we went through Albert Fish, crazy motherfucker, putting needles in his taint. That's all you really need to know. That's the only thing you really need to know.
Hey, it's called acupuncture.
He was a pioneer.
Yeah, a wellness pioneer. It's like Albert Fish and then Gwyneth.
Goop. Oh, God. So we did that. We did the Slender Man killings, amusement park disasters, which has convinced me that roller coasters are a tool of the devil.
And yet I love them.
Yeah. It was a good time. I learned a lot. And we didn't kill each other, which is always good for your marriage.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was you driving in on Thursday. Mm-hmm. I got to Pittsburgh on Tuesday. Tuesday was mostly just flying in and then sitting in a bus as it slowly took me across town to closer to my Airbnb, so then I could not spend like $90 on an Uber ride.
Was the Airbnb nice?
Yeah, it was. Except that the person in like the next door house did knock on my door at like 5 a.m, really pissed off, and I opened the door. I'm like, "Hi," just very confused, and he was like, "Is that your car that's parked in front of our freaking driveway?" And I'm like, "I don't have a car." And he's like, "I am so sorry." I'm like, you know what? I totally understand like why you would be this pissed off. Like, I'm not thrilled that I got woke up, but like, I get it, man. Anyway, they're like, "Oh, it's 5 a.m. I'm so sorry." I'm like, look, yeah, they got blocked into their driveway and couldn't get to work. So
that's fair.
Understandably, real pissed off. But besides that, very nice Airbnb. It was lovely. It was near the zoo. In fact, like the backyard touched the zoo.
Oh my god, did you like get to pet a giraffe or anything?
No,
Damn.
I could just kind of see like a vague enclosure. I couldn't even tell like what animals were in there. But I mean, it was still nice to like have fewer people around me.
Fair.
And also had a burger place real close to it that was really, really good. But no, so the following day they had like a special StokerCon event at the University of Pittsburgh library, the Hillman Library, because they have horror archives there. That was originally started by the family of George Romero, donating like all of his documents to the library. So they had like a special thing for any of the writers at StokerCon who were in town early to come and like look at a lot of those, and it was so cool. Got to like handle and like flip through 2 different versions of like the Alien script. There was Jaws script. There was Carrie, Ginger Snaps, Lost Boys. But then there was also like first edition Dracula, first edition Hell House, first edition of like a couple of Lovecraft things. Just so many like amazing documents to like look through, and like a lot of those things, we could like pick it up and flip through. Like the first edition's not so much, but like those,
they're like, look with your eyes.
They're like, look, if it's on like a little like pedestal, don't touch it. But if it's not on the pedestal, you can like pick it up and look through it, and we're like, oh, that's really cool.
Did they have like a sniper set up in case you touch something?
No, but they did have like docents every like 3 feet who were just like,
they were watching.
Yeah. And then there was also like some other stuff that they have like on display all the time in that area of the library. That was like a big display case that had a bunch of really cool like film ephemera stuff. So like one of the things that it was like highlighting was like press kits for movies, and like how do we promote and like make these viral movies and stuff. And so like there was like DVD press kit for Cloverfield that had all of the like secret footage and stuff like that they were releasing online before they released the movie. And they had tons of stuff for the Blair Witch Project, including like the missing posters that they like had put like all around town in Cannes. If you want to listen to the first episode that we had with Ben Rock talking about Video Palace, he shared the story of actually being there in Cannes, with the Blair Witch people. He worked on that, and how the French police got real pissed off at them because there was like a real missing person, and they're like, you guys are like distracting from a real problem, and got real mad.
Ooh.
So I got to see like some of those posters and just like lots of cool stuff they had. Also some things like a competing draft for an Alien sequel, a pitched but rejected episode of like the X-Files. There was like lots of cool old horror stuff that I was just sitting and drooling over, and hopefully we can turn some of those things that I saw there and learned about there into future episodes. So fingers crossed. So yeah, that was like my Wednesday, and then Thursday I went across town with a friend of the show, Steve Capone Jr. Spent quite a bit of time with him, and he brought me over, and then it was off to the races with the actual programming.
Yeah, so for those not familiar with the StokerCon layout, there are panels every hour. There's author readings, and then there's some panels are more like related to the genre, like non-binary authors and horror, trad wife, what have you. But they also have panels that are like more like educational, so more about learning about the industry and whatnot. I believe we both went to the No One Wants to Publish Mr. Hyde Professional Etiquette for Horror Writers panel, but you had to leave for like a Zoom meeting or something, maybe?
No, that was later. But...
That was like, yeah. I mean, a lot of the advice is kind of like, duh, but like a lot of it boils down to...
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick, which is honestly a golden rule that society as a whole needs to definitely abide by.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a big old throbbing dick.
Man, we just need to release that, as a free, just that
like a
one little
ringtone. Do people use ringtones anymore?
That'd be a text tone, really.
Oh yeah.
Just if someone's a dick, you can just install that on their phone, and they'll get that reminder every single time they get a text.
It's a foolproof business plan, to be honest with you.
It's a service to the world.
Yeah.
You're welcome, world.
You're welcome, Scream Kingdom. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it too is don't be afraid to engage in a dialogue and have direct conversation. Like if an editor or a publisher gives you feedback that perhaps you don't agree with, and before you knee-jerk say you don't agree with something, just kind of sit with it, digest it, because these people generally do want to make your book the best that it can be. But if you disagree for whatever reason, let them know.
Yeah, and like have reasons, and just be an adult and talk about it. So that was a good panel. We also I went to one that was about like marketing on a shoestring budget. That one was really fun and helpful. We also went to one that was talking about like working with big 5 publishers, which if you're not in the industry, you might not have any earthly idea what we mean by big 5. What that's getting at is that a lot of the major publishing companies really just kind of boil down to 5 like mega companies. And so like when people are talking about like New York publishing and all of that, that's usually what they're referring to is these like 5 giant media conglomerates that own the lion's share of publishing. And so like publishers tend to either be a big 5 publisher, and these are ones that are going to be under many more names because they have imprints, but they're the ones that have kind of the money and the power to really get stuff out there and make sure that it's in bookstores and everywhere. But then besides that, there are indie publishers, much smaller companies, some of which are a single person, like our friend Steve Capone, or there's lots of you're with several indie publishers.
Yeah, no big deal.
And so these are usually smaller operations, and then besides that, it's people self-publishing and putting stuff on Amazon or through like print-on-demand services and stuff like that. So we went to a panel that was a bunch of bigger authors talking about their experiences and kind of some of the pluses and minuses to working with these big, powerful companies versus working with a small publisher. Yeah. It's fun to hear the insights of these people. I'm pretty convinced that Big 5 would be real nice to get some of that money.
It does, doesn't it? Sounds really nice.
Yeah.
And that's like, not to say you have to be with one of the Big 5 to be found out regarding like Netflix, movies, that type of thing, but it sure does help.
yeah, it's definitely it's a matter of like exposure. And so a lot of times if you are familiar with horror authors, because you see their books on display in Barnes and Noble or whatever, most of the time it's because these are the bigger publishers that are doing a really good job of they have people who are paid to go and talk to the big buyers for the big bookstore chains and stuff like that, and to convince them, hey, you want to have or you want copies of this person's book in every bookstore in America, and obviously, like, a small operation doesn't have a whole army of people to send out and convince book buyers to do that. So we love indie publishing, obviously. We love these small presses. We love people, self-pubbing, but it is kind of cool to see the big, what other authors were thinking about, working with these big movers and shakers in our world.
Yeah. And there was a lot that kind of came from really kind of a conglomeration of these panels, like regarding social media. Don't wild out on social media, because it may not go very well with you, because whoever is associated with you, whether that be your editor, your publishing company, or indie press, don't embarrass them, all right? And one thing I'm sure that if any of you are in the indie horror world, you understand that there's a lot of self-promotion, and you just have to be willing to kind of put that work in, but it's what kind of drives you. Like, are you the kind of person that would prefer to go to a con and engage with people organically, one-on-one conversation? Are you good at the social media game, meme lording, and sharing pictures of your cats? That's one way to go about it too. But just kind of finding your niche, is really the important thing. And I mean, I think honestly, the big underline, dot, period, just be authentic and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Honestly. Let's see. I hit up the parasocial panel, which was interesting. Rachel Harrison, by the way, is awesome. Like, I want to know what her arm routine is, because she is, like, shredded. Like, she could bench press me, and I would allow it.
Well, if she's shredded, is it because she, like, regularly fights Ninja Turtles? Because she's the shredder?
Oh, perhaps. I'll ask.
Good.
It's not nearly as good as your math joke.
Hey, but I'm here with the hard-hitting questions.
The math joke, guys, was, like, brilliant.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, it's fine. The parasocial panel is interesting because, you are on social media, and that's not necessarily, like, your true self, right? You're going to hold some stuff back, because not everybody needs to know your social security number. It's not a great idea. But kind of handling those interactions with people who maybe feel more familiar with you because they know who you are versus, you don't know them yet. And how not to be maybe a little weird about some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we invite you to feel like you're part of our conversations, for example, with episodes of the podcast, and we hope you feel that way. We hope that you feel like, you're sitting down with friends when you listen to us. That does kind of create an unusual situation.
Yeah.
And all we're saying is, please don't stalk us. And if you want to talk to us, just talk to us like a normal person.
Yeah.
Don't be weird. And if you are weird, like, I get it. Like, I have anxiety.
Yeah.
So just, but, like, try to be chill. So, the more you know.
As Luann de Lesseps said from The Real Housewives of New York City, be cool, don't be uncool.
Ah.
Yeah.
That is deep.
Yeah, you're welcome. She's pretty great, honestly.
That runs deep like a puddle.
And then today was actually a very action-packed day for myself.
Indeed.
At noon, I had a Lend Me Your Ears, not literally, horror podcasting panel. Some friends that I have made, so Scotty Milder, who is host of Horror in the High Desert, great podcast. He's very, he researches, he reads all of your stuff if you're coming on. Like, he is so knowledgeable. And he has a great voice and a great beard. So, Scotty, I hope you know that. Also, with Tiffany Michelle Brown, who is co-host of Horror in the Margins, we actually brought some like beads to make friendship bracelets because it's like a whole bit. And I am currently wearing my bracelet right now, and it has like a little bat on it.
A little ghost?
Skull, yep, a ghost. So, StokerCon is forever. There's also Jeff C. Carter, who does We Bleed Orange and Black, and I have been on his podcast and Scotty's. The other two gentlemen I just met for the first time, Sean O'Connor and Stephen Van Patten, but they were, like, cool as shit, so...
Yeah, no, everyone was super cool, really had some great insights. That you were on the panel, so, it was just fun listening. Check out socials for pictures of
me. I'm such a big girl now, and not to get too excited, but I chatted with Gwendolyn Keist, and that was like awesome. Also, I glazed over the author signing. I was seated next to Nat Cassidy, and we had a great time chatting. You know that I, as I do, brought up rectal foreign bodies, and the best thing about that is, like, at a HorrorCon, everybody loves it.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah, that definitely always kills.
It's like a conversation starter, which, like, probably not in any sort of other
Yeah, it's
con.
usually a conversation ender.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, like, the GI doctors would talk about it, but not a lot of people talk about that. Shortly after that, I went to the Tradwife panel, which is, like, kind of a new, I would say, subgenre that's, like, hot in horror right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've read Tradwife by T.C. Parker last year, and then Saratoga Schaefer wrote Tradwife, and they're a non-binary author, so woo, representation. And also, there's, like, some pretty hot demon stuff in there that I didn't realize I was into, but, like, I am. So, I wanted you all to know that.
The more you know.
Knowledge is power. Was that bad?
Yeah, a little bit.
Keep it in there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely saying. A couple other panels I went to that I don't believe that you were in attendance. I went to one called Something in the Water, Aquatic Horror. That was really cool, just talking about how the ocean can be such an interesting place to explore in our horror writing, and not just, Jaws, though obviously Jaws is iconic for a good reason. Yeah. At least the movie. The book, let's not get me started on that book. But, also just, the variety of monsters, the things that you can do that are real, the things that you can do that are, totally just making shit up, and they're both, like, really, like, who knows? The ocean is so unexplored and interesting.
Yeah.
And that panel had a lot of cool people. It had Lisa Kroger and Nick Cutter and Nicole Wolverton and Amakatsu and a bunch of other people. So, really fun to be like, oh, hi, Alma! And
I love Alma.
Yeah, she's great. And another one I went to that I thought was really fun was one called Hopeful Nihilism.
Oh.
How cosmic horror can inspire. No, it was super great, actually. So that one, like, the main panelists were Anne Vandermeer, Haley Piper, James Chambers, Vaughn Jackson, and Carol Geisander. And it was really cool because it was, like, getting into how, especially for, like, kind of the traditional Lovecraftian horror, looking at Lovecraft specifically, like, it's all doom and gloom, there is no hope at the end of those. But they were kind of getting at this idea that, like, especially as, like, we've kind of grown and evolved as a society, we don't necessarily have to always have those same takeaways. That, like, even if things are bleak and hopeless, like, you can still stand up to it anyway. Because, if you look at Lovecraft as a person, like, he was afraid of everything.
Mostly Italian immigrants.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone who looked different than him, had, different anatomy than him, had, or if it was a fish or whatever, like, he was afraid of it.
Yeah.
And so, he was very much, trapped in that, like, cycle of just awfulness and fear. And, like, a lot of really great cosmic horror today has, elements of nihilism, but then it kind of stands up to it, and it is kind of more of this, hey, maybe we don't have a purpose in the universe, but like, then I'm going to make my own purpose. Or, hey, maybe there is awfulness in the world, and we can't do, things about everything, but we can deal with like the racist assholes that are, making a cult, and that, and I'm thinking of stuff like Ballad of Black Tom, Lovecraft Country. There are so many amazing examples of that. Of course, a lot of the work from the people that were on the panel, and so it's like, well, yeah, like Lovecraftian fiction is less Lovecrafty every day. It really is an opportunity to have moments of hope, even if it is, ultimately, a usually pretty bleak subgenre. It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom all the time, because, like, yeah, we live in a world where more and more people are willing to stand up for, like, what they believe in, or to make purpose and meaning, even if they don't feel like there already is some. So it was a really, like, kind of,
yeah, that is like uplifting and whatnot.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is like the weirdly sweet, touchy-feely panel. It was kind of cool.
It's kind of like Buddhist almost in a way. Yeah. Although, I'm just saying, no matter if we had to like escape this planet, like via rocket, evacuate, I'm not fucking going. I ain't going into space. I don't need to see what's out there. Let me stay on Earth.
We know what's out there. It's
Event Horizon.
I was gonna say Azathoth, the slumbering god, but and Great Destroyer.
And the Leech God from Strange Harvest.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone, by the way, that the Strange Harvest episode, audio did not work.
Yeah, and it was like a banger of an episode, too.
Yeah,
I'm so upset.
Yeah, we might have to try to recreate that magic at some point, but...
Maybe the Leech God didn't want us to talk about Strange Harvest. Did you ever think of that?
I didn't. So everyone, go see Strange Harvest. It's worth your time.
It is.
And then you'll know what Leech God we're talking about. It's free on Hulu. Dope movie.
Yeah.
And maybe someday we will recreate our episode and recreate the magical 90 minutes that were taken from us by Pazuzu.
I think the only way I can really make it better is if I somehow got some leeches from our neighboring hospital, because they do keep them in the pharmacy.
Hell yeah.
It's like show and tell, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway.
Can you name one of them Kevin?
Kevin the Leech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. This afternoon also, I did a reading.
Yes, and I'm going to be posting that video online somewhere in our social media.
Ooh.
Maybe our YouTube channel?
Maybe. Something to look forward to, kiddos. But
I'll drop a link in the show notes.
Check the show notes. I read with Rami Unger, Lisa Kroger, who I just recently realized is also addicted to the Real Housewives franchise, so we became immediate best friends.
Yeah, she's a delight.
She is great. She's very cool.
Also highly recommend her nonfiction book that she co-wrote, Monster She Wrote. Very good.
That's a great title, too.
Yes, it is.
That's an awesome title.
I loved it.
I read my favorite story from Time of Death, a collection of medical horror, which did just drop on May 26th, so you should pick up a copy. Go to my store, go to Amazon, request it from your local bookstore. Go get it, please. But I read my favorite short story, The Call Shift, out of that, and it was my story that I submitted to Alien Buddha Press's Horror Showdown last year, and it won.
It's a very good story.
Thank you. It's, as you all know, I love zombies, so it is my take on being on call after a virus has ravaged humanity. Not turning you into a zombie immediately, just staying, dormant, kind of like herpes zoster, like shingles. So when you die, then you become a zombie. It's almost kind of Walking Dead-ish, but not everybody's infected. And so call teams have to bring, like a bolt, what are they called?
A bolt gun.
Bolt gun to codes and put the zombies out of their misery, because otherwise you'd have a real fucking problem in the hospital.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you will see if you watch the video, which you definitely should, yeah, absolutely crushed it. She didn't, of course, reveal the ending of the story, which got to keep them coming for more.
That's right. It's called a hook.
Yeah. So that was fantastic. Another thing, this was actually last night, that you were down for the day, because these days can be very exhausting.
Yeah.
But I went to the short film festival. There's been one of those for the last, at least 5 years. I've been to like this one and like the previous two at StokerCons, and the short films that were shown were freaking fantastic. I have to highlight 3 of them. I wish I had like the names of the directors in front of me, so I'm just gonna list off these short films. And yeah, all 3 of those, if you can ever get your hands on them, if you can see them at a film festival, I know that they've been at things like Overlook and South by Southwest and stuff like that too. These are all absolutely worth your time. There's one called Prime, which was about a lady joining a very like, let's get in touch with nature and become part of nature cult. That one was very good. There was also one called Scissors, which was basically kind of like a, just this asshole who like wants to, hurt women, who, follows this woman home from like a liquor store to try and tries to attack her, but she's having a lesbian bachelorette party, and so all of the ladies, instantly like, whip out like butterfly knives and guns and all of that, and take them on. That one was hysterical. It was so good. And then the last one that I wanted to highlight is like kind of a quiet, calm film called Man-Eating Pussy. Which,
can you like just say that without just?
I don't know if I can. It was called Man-Eating Pussy.
It's almost worse whenever you don't laugh.
Yes. Which was about like a man who was like terminally ill going to see a prostitute who is a woman whose head is a giant vagina. And things happen. I mean, just, kind of like what you expect from the title. It was shockingly, like, kind of poignant in its own way, but it was also hysterical, and everyone was, like, cheering, and it was a good time.
What a way to go, though.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like,
you can't even be mad about that.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, that guy paid for that ending.
Was it happy?
He was. He was. Yeah, so that was a trip. Yeah, like there's a bunch of other ones too that were solid. I unfortunately missed out on one that was called like The Chair that everyone was ranting and raving about, but I had to step out for a minute. But so lots of good stuff. Definitely like it's always really cool to see these films and kind of see what new upcoming filmmakers are doing, and yeah, I mean it just tells me that like there's some like really cool, creative, interesting, funny, poignant, scary work that's coming up the pipeline. That we got some new creators that are ready to once they get their big features are gonna just kick ass and take names.
I love that. I wish that I wasn't so lame, but 8 p.m. starts to get a little bit late for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the first night, we had to watch the Texas Longhorns women's softball team win their second national title. That's my wife's team. Hook 'em. That's right. That's for her.
Mm-hmm.
Hook 'em. Today, we capped off our StokerCon day with taking a little Uber ride out to the Monroeville Mall, which was amazing.
Yes. So if you weren't in the know, that is the mall where Dawn of the Dead was filmed by George Romero. and they have like a small museum there.
Worth the money, honestly.
Yeah, it was rad.
I think it was just $10, right, for an adult?
Yeah, $10, and then it's like if you're under 12, it's free. I mean, I'm not sure every kid is ready for the zombies.
I didn't actually think about that.
But I mean, like, honestly, like my kids would have been fine.
Yeah.
So it really is, kind of one of those like, oh, like it's cool because you get to see, actual like props and sets and stuff, from like Romero's films. They also had some stuff from like Evil Dead and some other stuff as well, which was super cool.
The Crazies.
Yeah.
Yeah, very awesome. And I got some pretty cool t-shirts.
Hell
so
yeah.
Got some new stuff to rock at future conferences, which is always great.
Yes. But yeah, StokerCon is just always a blast. Going and hanging out with, tons of really amazing horror creators. We both have obscenely tall stacks of books that we're bringing home.
Yeah.
A lot of which were, freebies for just, being at the con or walking past the freebie table where people are just like, here's a stack of this book. And you're like, that looks cool. I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah. You're very much in danger of your luggage being overweight.
I got like 10 books like right here.
Yeah. And is that even all of them? And then there's more right there.
Yeah. Well, these are the ones I brought.
You brought?
The Dread Mondays.
Oh, yeah.
I just had a couple copies just in case.
That's smart.
You never know.
Yeah. You never know. And speaking of copies of books, but Nat Cassidy got a copy of Eat Your Heart Out and Time of Death, so...
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty happy about that. He was so cool, too.
Yeah, Nat Cassidy is a freaking delight.
Yeah, he is.
And he was like, just broing out with me, talking about What We Do in the Shadows and Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, which, if you're a horror fan and you have not watched either of those television shows, fix that. It's fantastic. It's horror humor perfectly calibrated for your brain.
It sounded entertaining. I'll say that.
It truly is.
And I mean, I think it was a whirlwind weekend. I mean, you're going to be here tomorrow for the last day of programming, but we have a 8.5, 9 hour drive ahead of us, so we're going to road trip, and I have some podcasts of Fred and Rose West to listen to, so...
Excellent. And I'm going to fly home to Utah, and then have another whirlwind of cool stuff. Gonna see Disclosure Day, an early screening of that.
And you know what else has been pretty great this weekend is we've been working on our manuscript with Steve Capone Jr. that we are calling Tapeworms, which is set in 1997. There's a lot of nostalgia. It takes place at Video Castle, which Nathaniel made me a design and a hat that I've been sporting. So
hell yeah.
It's fucking awesome. But working together on this document and being able to actually chat the next day about it is amazing.
Yes. So dear listeners, in the October of next year, you'll be able to get your hands on Tapeworms, which is a double entendre for tapeworms and videotape and worms. Little parasitic baddies.
What did Steve say? He said that it's body horror that he hates that he has to show off.
Yeah. He can't not publish it.
Yeah. He viscerally hates it, but also loves it.
Yeah. So clearly, you, dear listeners, will enjoy it too. Shameless plug there. Sorry, we couldn't help ourselves. We're excited about our project, okay?
And we can do whatever we want, so...
Yeah, it's our podcast.
Take that.
But yeah, so fantastic stuff coming up. A couple other quick business items that maybe are worth pointing out. Two big things. First one, we are officially launching our Patreon. We're trying to fill that up with as much interesting, meaningful content as possible. So if you head to patreon.com/ScreenKingsPod, you'll be able to access a whole bunch of bonus episodes. If you're basically willing to chip in anything, we will give you access to all of that, and we're going to be adding to that all the time. So far, it's mostly just been like reviews of different shows. Like I talked about some initial thoughts after finishing the show Evil. Both of us had like some best of the horror that we consumed last year. You had one about like a lot of your gripes with medical scenes. So it's kind of a grab bag. Usually any given bonus episode is going to be like 10-ish minutes long. But if you want more Scream Things, that's a fantastic way to do it. So, worth your time, please, if you're willing and able, the support would be so helpful. Also, very exciting news, we just joined a podcasting network. This is the Sparks Network. You might have noticed a small little logo there in the corner of our show image, cover image.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What
It's like not album art, cover art?
Yeah, cover
logo?
Yeah, I guess our logo. Anyway, whatever you want to call that. When you looked at the show, you might have noticed a little kind of like badge in the corner for the Sparks Network. So eventually, like we may have some advertisers on the show and things like that. They're an awesome network to work with. Definitely just is going to help us hopefully reach more listeners and kind of help us just mitigate some of the production costs of making the show. This is definitely a passion project for us. We've been working in the black for or in the red for a very long time. So now it'll be nice to be able to just have to worry about a little bit less of some of the kind of the behind the scenes finagling that we had to do to make this show possible. So hopefully that will just kind of help us have a little bit more consistent release schedule and all of that, and maybe reach some new people. So we're very excited to join the network.
Hell yeah. And you know what? I have to thank you for securing that for us. You were our
Liaison.
Yeah, liaison. I like that.
Yeah.
Liaison.
It's a fun word.
Isn't it?
Yes, just put a little French.
How was a liaison? It does sound really good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
We are very mature adults.
Obviously. I think we're punch drunk from not enough sleep.
And too many soup dumplings.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah. But I guess in the meantime, dear sweet listeners, you should stay spooky.
Stay spooky.